Well, I think foremost, President Trump is a businessman. So that's how he views the world rather than strategic and military terms. Essentially, I think he asks himself, what's in it for America? What's the bottom line? And clearly, we've seen that manifest itself in the current trade war that's going on. So I think that's what's driving his foreign policy. Ultimately, it's money, and I think that's America is fairly keen on getting the Ukraine-Russia war solved. Is because America is keen to see trade relations resumed between Russia and, of course, especially America. And I think Trump and his advisors are acutely conscious that that war has threatened to drag in Europe. And if it does that, it drags in NATO. And if it drags in NATO, it drags in America. So I think behind the scenes, Trump's policy advisors are very conscious that they do not want to see the start of a third world war. Both world wars have seen America dragged into continental conflicts in Europe. Defence autonomy is always a challenge for the UK and indeed the rest of Europe. It's not an easy one. In terms, of course, for the UK, recently it's announced it's going to push up its defence spending to 2.5% of GDP. And the view, the Labour government has stated that they will increase it to 3%, which is good. But a lot of that is reliant on the performance of the English economy, British economy. And also, of course, a lot of it needs investment into British defence industries if you are going to build British manufactured platforms. And that's always the political tensions that the UK and other European countries have, is that do you buy a piece of equipment off the shelf manufactured by someone else, or do you build it at home using British expertise, British labour, British know-how? So there are always political tensions. Historically, the Europeans, although we are part of the defence umbrella of NATO and we contribute to the role of NATO in protecting Western Europe, traditionally the Europeans have not been good on joint defence programmes, simply because, of course, those political pressures come in. Strategically, logically, we should combine our efforts, but it never works. Eurofighter is a prime example of that. The French went their own way with the Dassault Rafale. So it's quite often the European countries try and get people to cooperate, but it sort of comes off the rails.